zombie-themed games dropping in 2021 that look really promising. We've got about 10, so let's break them all down. Of course, starting off with number 10, Evil Dead the Game. This was revealed at last year's Game Awards, and it's developed by Saber Interactive and published by Boss Team Games. Saber Interactive has been making games for many years of varying degrees, sometimes ports, sometimes games, but this seems like something entirely different for them. From what we know so far, this looks to be like more of an arena-based Evil Dead style game with cooperative PvE stuff and PvP gameplay involving all of the characters from the Evil Dead universe and blasting some creatures. Apparently there is going to be a skill tree involved and multiple weapons and gadgets that you can use, not to mention the fact that, they have Bruce Campbell as Ash, that's the most important thing, but we also see characters from throughout the movies and even Ash versus Evil Dead, which is just a welcome surprise. I've said this in previous videos, but there was a time when we had a lot more Evil Dead games out there, and maybe we took it for granted. Still, we're very happy to finally get a new one. Even if it's more of an arena-based multiplayer thing, it could still be a lot of fun, considering the IP it's based on. Next, over at number 9, we have Project Ill. You've probably seen this one floating around on social media. I think we've highlighted it in the past. Essentially, this is seemingly early in the works. We might see an early access version of it this year. Apparently, it's from a small developer still seeking funding, but essentially, it's a really intense, weird, gross, and ambitious first-person zombie shooter. We've got some gameplay and some concept footage that seems like it is indicative of the game, and you can immediately see why I said ambitious, because the gore and dismemberment stuff they have going on here is really crazy. I'm curious to see what else this game is going to do to stand out other than just some cool gore and some first-person shooting. It needs more than that, but a lot of people have jumped on board and are into the idea. So even though we're only looking at tiny glimpses of ideas of the game, we're hoping that we see it big in 2021. Next at number 8, we have a PC game called A Way to Be Dead. I'll be honest, this one on the list seems like one of the games that still looks a little rough, but the idea is pretty cool. It's an asymmetrical multiplayer game with deep horror elements, and essentially it takes place in a zombie-infested hospital, and you play as either one crazy infected doctor, multiple patients, and maybe even turn into zombies themselves. That's what the game seems to be implying, and that seems like it could be the best element just from some of the early glimpses we've seen with some of the animations and some of the gore. But I'd say more than anything with this game, even though the 4 versus 1 horror ideas we've seen before, and we've even seen playing as the creatures before, the atmospheric effects they have going on in this game seem pretty cool. Reminds me of the old days of Resident Evil and Silent Hill. Apparently it's going to be extremely limited. You can only carry and use one item at a time to make things more stressful, but apparently there's going to be some sort of progression with updating your abilities in-game. There's going to be environmental interactions that might help with certain things, and you're going to be able to customize a bunch of different variations for the maps, which seems like it could be fun for some experimentation. I'd say definitely this is a game for people who are into Dead by Daylight. It is from a small developer, but we think we're going to see it in 2021. We just wanted to put something on this list and in front of your eyes that maybe you wouldn't have stumbled across otherwise. Next at number 7, we have Synced Off Planet. Now, despite the generic sounding name, this seems like a cool enough concept, if not a little bit derivative. Essentially, it's PvE and PvP